All right, Ultra Noops Nation, my name is Reid Nelson. I'm joined today by Casey Schonauer. This is episode 3 of the UH Rewind. Tonight, the 6-0 Guerrillas will take on the 5-2 Goodfellas. We had a chance to speak with Emmanuel Harrison of the 5-2 Goodfellas. Here is Emmanuel. All right, UH Nation, we're here with Emmanuel Harrison. 5-2 Goodfellas. How's the year been going so far?
When we've had our full team, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, actually. We kind of gave away a game at the beginning, first game together. We didn't really, all mesh, but we picked up quickly as far as team chemistry and came together. And so, full team here, we put it together and play hard. It's been fun, though.
Will you have a full complement of players tonight?
I believe so. I think everybody's here. I think Garland gave me and Kevin a text earlier. I think Arsen's going to be here. Hoyle is, he does his hour routine of warming up, so he's running around here somewhere, and I'm sure Kavarian's going to be here. So no, I think we have a full cast.
Guerrillas 6-0. Key to winning this game will be what?
I wouldn't say speed. I'd say under control and very tough defense. We got to pay attention to where they're on the three-point line. Those guys can I would say, make it rain quick. We could get down fast, but we got to make sure we stay the course, play good defense. Definitely make sure we're, again, paying attention to the three-point line and where they're at and getting back on D.
Thank you, Emmanuel. That was Emmanuel Harrison. Goodfellas, 5-2. They are led by Kavarian Williams. Kavarian Williams can put up points real fast. He's got 113 points this season on 48% shooting from the field, 38% from the three-point line, 18 rebounds, 14 assists, 6 steals. Talk about Kavarian's game.
Nobody really has an answer for him in UH, I don't feel like. The only way you can kind of contain him is throwing him in doubles and trying to make him do too much. Maybe confusing him a little bit by pressuring him once he gets across the half-court line. The dude can take over, and tonight they're going to have Izzy, Bryant, and Noe chasing him at any point in time. And that could end up really bad for the Guerrillas. But if they play their cards right, which I think they have a chance at doing, they might be able to hold them to under 20 and, secure a victory.
The Guerrillas are led by Kyle Radde, in addition to the squad this season. Radde's leading the team with rebounds with 10.3. He also has 85 points, shooting 49% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, 62 boards, 9 assists. Talk about the addition of Kyle Radde. What does that mean to the Guerrillas?
That dude is a monster, as I always say in the articles. And, if anybody has an answer for him, it's going to be Kevin Chase. If I was to pick one guy to stop him, it'd be the Chase monster. Because he's going to be coming out there. He's going to be contesting shots. He can guard outside. He can guard inside very, very well. And as we all know, Radde will torch you from outside the three-point line, NBA, sometimes half court. Or he'll spin right off you, go baseline and score as well. But Kevin's big enough, fast enough to stay with him all night.
Who wins tonight and why?
I'm sticking with my predictions, obviously, today. The Guerrillas are going to stick it out by 6. They have more solid scoring across the board. If you look at all their players, they have bigger scoring threats and more consistency. And I think that's what's going to do the Goodfellas in tonight.
Goodfellas, Garland Sanchez is going to lead them on both ends of the floor. I think they win in overtime by 1.
Let's go.
All right, we'll be right back with tip-off. All right, Ultra Noops Nation, my name is Reid Nelson. I'm joined today by Casey Schonauer. This is the UH Rewind, episode 3, between the 5-2 Goodfellas and the 6-0 Guerrillas. Potential number 1 seed is at stake here. How are you doing tonight, Casey?
And here we go.
Is that going to be your signature? All right, Goodfellas control the tip. Starting for them with the ball, Garland Sanchez, Greg Regenscheid, Emmanuel Harrison, Ryan Samuelson, and Josh Hoyle. For the Guerrillas, Izzy Alcafas, Bryant Marmel, Chris Maher, Kyle Radde, and Noe Mendez.
Guerrillas going with a smaller set here to start. Kind of interesting play. Pinkett and Derek are both on the bench, so.
Izzy grabbing jerseys as he tends to do. He's going to get the foul there. Foul number 1 on Garland Sanchez. And we are scoreless here after a minute. Noe Mendez, newest Gorilla, along with Kyle Radde. We talked a little bit about this in the pregame show, but why don't you speak about a little bit now about Noe Mendez and what he does for the Gorillas?
Noe's the all-time assist leader, right? Obviously.
That's correct.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, the dude runs the show. Sometimes his criticisms are he holds the ball too long, which I've seen him do in the past a couple times, but overall, the best distributor in UH.
Ryan Samuelson, 3 all-time in scoring on Ultimate Hoops nationwide. Gives up the ball there. Brian Marmol with the steal. Noe Mendez down to Izzy Kafas from the corner. Hits it. 3-0 Gorillas. Gorillas understand the importance of this game. They've got a game later tonight versus the Rebels. I've said it. I'll say it again. If the Gorillas win this game, to me, they will be your number 1 seed, barring a major meltdown against the Rebels. Going to get a foul here on Greg Regenscheid. Gorillas control the ball early, up 3-0. 20 minutes to go here in the first half. Mendez at the point, over to Maher. Maher drives. He's going to finish. Right past Greg Regenscheid and Josh Hoyle. 5-0 Gorillas.
They're letting them play a little bit here early on, so be interesting to see if it stays that way or they start tightening up a little bit. I know sometimes it can shift.
Manu Harrison goes up, gets stripped. Ball bounces out of bounds. Controlled by the Goodfellas. Yeah, I mean, there are some big bodies out there. I mean, when you consider you've got, Regenscheid, Sanchez, and Harrison versus Maher and Marmol. I mean, everyone's so big for their position. Radde 0 for 1 from deep now. He's got a very smooth stroke. Hoyle controls the point. Drive's going to get fouled and won. 5-2. Gorillas in the lead here early. Beautiful finish by Josh Hoyle.
You know he's going right.
Josh Hoyle, so far this season, averaging 3.1 assists, 1.3 steals. He scored 81 points. He's shooting 41% from the floor and 65% from the free throw line. He buries that one for the and one. 5-3 Gorillas.
He's only 65% free throw shooter.
I was a little surprised there as well.
That's almost as bad as me.
Maher with the drive, miss, offensive rebound, and he puts it in. That's 4 points for Chris Maher. A little smirk on his face as he drives down the court there. I think he knows he got away with one. Regenscheid deep on the 3, rebounded by Chris Maher. Chris Maher pushes it up to Mendez. Mendez drives middle, bounces off a couple of kneecaps. Mendez over to Radde. Radde up to Brian Marmol. He's going to pull that. Looks good. And it isn't. Off the front, off the back, and out.
Usually that rim will give it to you if any rim gives it to you. Not that time.
Carlin Sanchez finishes 7-5 Gorillas. The lead is now down to 2. Coming off the bench tonight for the Goodfellas, speaking of size, Kevin Chase appears to be the only man on the bench for them. Oh, and Kavarian Williams is now in the building.
That's crazy.
So Kavarian and Kevin off the bench. That's a real solid bench here.
Yeah.
Kevin Chase in for Greg Regenscheid. On the bench for the Gorillas, James Pinkett, Derek Batiste. Question here is this. Let's just hypothetically say that the Goodfellas do lose this game. They dip to 5-3. They've lost to them, they've lost to Big Smash, and then they'll have lost to the Gorillas. They can't dip too far down the rankings. Where would you have them?
They're going to be right at 5 regardless, I think. Maybe probably 7. 5 to 7 range. I mean, they're so scary wherever they end up. The lower they go, the more scary it gets because they're going to be playing. I don't know. They're going to be gambling. They're not going to have an easy matchup, but they're the real deal. But I mean, they don't have the cohesiveness in their first season together. I feel like to win those tougher matchups. That's why they're a little lower. But we'll see if it meshes here towards the end of the season.
Up and under by Mendez, missed. Josh Hoyle's going to go to the line.
He's in attack mode right now.
So, and it creates a little bit of a logjam if the Goodfellas do win because they do have 2 losses This would put the Guerrillas at 1 loss with a game later tonight versus the Rebels, and the Rebels potentially at 1 loss with a game later tonight versus the Guerrillas. So, the winner of that game would potentially be the number 1. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to say, tough to go, just because the Goodfellas are at 2 losses. And a lot of their game depends on them getting their full squad here, which isn't always so easy in the winter. Other people have other commitments. I know Garland is a referee, so he does a lot of high school games, so it'll be interesting. Hoyle hits them both, 7-7. Game is tied.
To go off of that, too, I honestly think it's going to be better if the Goodfellas lose this game, just because they're going to come in with a little chip on their shoulders being low. If they win tonight, I can see them getting a little too overconfident, maybe a little cocky in that first round matchup.
Radde with the make. I believe it was Radde with the make. 9-7 Guerrillas. Kavarian Williams into the game for the Goodfellas. James Pinkett, Derek Batiste into the game for the Guerrillas. Both teams with 7 players, so we won't be running into an Iron 5 or even Super 6 situation here. But both teams know how to rotate, and they rotate fairly well. The question always is who's playing with 2 minutes left in the game? That's always something you want to look out for. Kavarian down low to Harrison, guarded by Pinkett. Harrison spin move, fade away, buries it. 9-9. 14 minutes, 25 seconds to go here in the first half. This is episode 3 of the UH Rewind. Aaron Wimsett on the video tonight. I'm joined tonight by Casey Schonauer. The Goodfellas right to left on your screen. Guerrillas left to right. Ryan Samuelson with the miss.
They're not. I mean, they've both started out not very patient. We've just seen 3 horrible possessions and a terrible foul right there. They're getting a little too crazy too quick here. I think whoever stays the most patient is going to come out ahead here. And you think it's going to be the fellas. I think it's going to be the Guerrillas.
Kevin Chase with the steal there on the other end. They picked up a foul. Noe Mendez now has 3 fouls. I'd expect the sub to come into for him very shortly. Very rarely do you run into foul trouble in Ultimate Hoops in a 44-minute runtime game with 6 fouls being that magic number. Radde, big rebound. Be careful here, Chase, not to get a foul.
I'll tell you one thing, it's a good thing we have 6 fouls to foul out. Oh, my God.
Almost a bad turnover there by the Guerrillas.
There you go.
Bryant drives, he gets fouled by Greg Regenscheid. They've certainly tightened it up. No, he's going to come out with 3 fouls.
Not a lot of ball movement early on, huh? Kind of been one pass.
Yeah. I mean, they've been relatively good shots. I mean, if Ryan Samuelson's going to come down the court and hit a pull-up 3, I'm okay with that shot. I'm okay with that shot all day long. I mean, it's probably 5 percentage points less for him than just a regular spot-up 3. And that's still a pretty good shot.
That's true.
Kavarian for 3. Buries that. The Goodfellas with their first lead of the game. It'll be interesting to count lead changes now. That's 1. 12-10 Goodfellas.
Izzy was pretty pissed off at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's upset at Mendez already being in foul trouble so early. Pinkett down low to Brian Marmol. Beautiful up and under finish by Brian Marmol.
That was sick.
We'll get a replay on that one. Garland Sanchez down low, out to Emmanuel Harrison, who buries the 3.
Hey, Izzy, I got a towel for you on the sidelines here.
15-12. Bryant Marmol with the pull-up jumper. Almost steal on the other end. And you know what? He's not going to get credit with that steal, but he almost should.
Yeah.
He really forced that turnover, and although it won't show up in the box score, you can give Brian Marmol a steal there in my book. James Pinkett's thinking about it deep. That shot's a little different.
He's been known to hit him.
Yeah, he's certainly been known to hit him, just not this season. He's 1 for 4 from deep, now 1 for 5. Kevin Chase with a beautiful turnaround. Now, talk a little bit about Kyle Radde's game.
Look at him. I mean, the dude, he moves so gracefully, but, you know, he's got a pretty big gut like myself. And, I mean, look at that. Just right around the man. And he missed that one.
But the thing is he doesn't really play like a back to the basket.
No.
He's more of a guard.
Yeah.
James Pinkett with the bucket. But on the defensive end, he does play down low. So he almost offers. He's a matchup nightmare for teams. 17-16, Goodfellas in the lead.
Almost like a Kevin Love, but not as big of an asshole. That's a really nice guy.
Now, so you're going to make me go through and edit this now. Okay, missed there by the Goodfellas, 17-16.
You should just put up beat there.
Ryan Samuelson, 49% from deep this season. He is leading the Goodfellas, 18 for 37. The Guerrillas are lost of sorts right now. Down low to Batiste. Batiste is going to be, almost had a turnover there, but we're going to get a rebound by Garland Sanchez. And both teams look a little bit winded early on. Kavarian with the pull-up. And Bryant Marble comes out of that with the board. Izzy with the pull-up, buries that long three, and we're going to get a timeout here by the, they wanted a timeout, but they're not going to get it.
Yeah, to go off of your point, they look a little tired. I think in these big-time matchups, you really get the butterflies, I feel. I mean, I do. And you get a little excited going, as he was long there, but you get a little excited going out, and maybe you spend a little too much energy. It's more mental than anything, but that's what I think happens.
It's like every game for me. Yeah. 17-19, Guerrillas in the lead here. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Brian Marmo with a beautiful cut, a beautiful look, and a beautiful make, and he gets fouled. That's just a good basketball play right there. Understanding screens, understanding cuts, knowing when to make eye contact with the ball handler. Kind of a give me the ball now type of thing is all very important, and that was just a beautiful basketball play.
Yeah, he's really good at that. He's been known to go cold, but these are his this is his gym. He's always down here working. I mean, in my opinion, where you practice, you play the best. I used to play here all the time, and I felt like I played better. I haven't since, but.
So you have yet to be filmed on the UH Rewind, but let me ask you this. How much do you think it changes their mindset? They know that this is going to be on film for everyone to see in the next week. Does it change it at all?
I mean, most of these guys have their egos under control, I would say. But, I mean, I think in the back of your head, you still, the camera's here. And you've got two great UH minds on the side. Looking at them, maybe critiquing them a little bit. You never know what they're going to say, so I think it's in the back of their mind. But for these guys, I don't think it's on the forefront. Now, you put, maybe the Titans or the Squids in here, I think they'll get a little too excited.
Guerrillas control that jump. Mendez back into the game. Nice, beautiful pass. Oh, beautiful pass by Noe Mendez. Chris Maher not able to finish. Oh, and Mendez with the great control of the ball there. And that is an athletic human being right there, Chris Maher. Coming down from behind with that steal, pass up to Brian Marmo, and Brian Marmo's having a heck of a game here so far. I mean, most 6'4", 6'5", 225-pound human beings can't run like that. Manuel Ellison get away with a little bit of a push there. 24-17. The Guerrillas are in a little bit of a run here. For the Goodfellas, they're led in scoring this season by Kavarian Williams. He's averaging 16.1. Kevin Chase at an even 10.0 per game. Josh Hoyle, 3.1 assists. He hits that three. 20-24. They're trailing. Greg Regenscheid with 0.9 blocks. For the Guerrillas, they're led in scoring by Bryant Marmol, 15.3 points. also led in rebound. Oh, beautiful block there by Emmanuel Harrison. Kyle Radde leads them in rebounds with 10.3. The little the scoreboard is correct. There's a little bit of a under. Let's put it this way: he asked for 23. Under no circumstances would they have 23. They might have 22, but not 23. So it's 24-21. The Guerrillas in the lead here. Noe with the floater. Out to Islam El-Kafas, who misses that three. James Pinkett with the big rebound. Good offensive possession here by the Guerrillas, and Kevin Chase comes in with the thunder block. Thunder block. We gotta get a sound effect for thunder block. The rest of the leaders for the Guerrillas: 5.8 Noe Mendez with assists, Izzy Al-Kafas 2.2 steals, Kyle Radde 0.7 blocks. What say you?
I think on that big block, Chase is a little lighter after his little escapade with No Shave November, or Movember, I guess, because he had a pretty creepy stash, if you saw it.
Chris Maher throws that one away. Turnover, Maher. 21-24. By the way, I'm giddy about being able to create the thunder block sound effect, which now everyone's already seen. So it's strange that I continue to talk about it, but it'll be nice, I think. Okay, Kevin Chase down low. Over to Garland Sanchez. Ooh, we're going to get a late push call on James Pinkett. 24-21. Guerrillas leading here. 4 minutes, 26 seconds to go here in the first half. Garland Sanchez inbounds to Emmanuel Harrison. Emmanuel Harrison takes Izzy Al-Kafas. The turnaround jumper makes it. I am a fan of Emmanuel Harrison's, and I'll tell you why. Although I think he has a tendency to take himself out of games a little bit, he is an incredibly underrated player. In that he is, again, a matchup nightmare for teams. He's so big, he's so strong, but he can handle the ball very, very, very well. He can shoot a little bit. I think his toe was on the line. The referee gave him the three, but I think when he regathered himself, he put his toe on the line.
Yeah, it was close.
We're going to show the replay here, see if that view was blocked or not. But the official was in a much better position than I was. We're going to get a steal here by Josh Hoyle, down to Kavarian Williams, over to Kevin Chase, and he gets fouled by James Pinkett. Now, if that was a two, which, again, it wasn't, the score would have been 25-24. It's now 26-24. Let's put it this way. It took him a while to shoot it. He kind of regathered himself. It looked like his toe was on the line, but the official was right there.
We'll have to see. From his angle behind him, too, it might have been a little hard to see the front of his toes. It was probably too close of a call to make, and Ronnie from the baseline isn't going to be looking all the way out there. That's not his zone. He shouldn't be looking there anyway, but...
I will be honest, I did just recently turn 30. I do have 20/20 vision, but my vision is getting worse. When I open up Excel files on my computer, I'm noticing that I'm having to increase it to 125% instead of the standard 100%. So my eyes are going.
It's those computers. It's all those stats and all those videos you've been uploading online.
But it did look like a two. Noe Mendez with a beautiful runner. I wish I could play like that. Just that long, lengthy dribble with the beautiful runner. He floats through the air, and he finger rolls it off. It was just a beautiful play. 26-26. Guerrillas tied that. He stepped out of bounds there.
A lot of people talk about Noe's wingspan, too. His arms are really long.
Yeah, it is freakish almost.
Yeah, huge advantage. He knows how to use it.
26-26, 1 minute, 52 seconds to go here in the first half. We're going to speak with Kevin Chase at the half. James Pinkett, not your number one ball handler. Over to Kyle Radde, who's going to shoot that. Always will, and buries it. He's just got a beautiful, beautiful rotation, release, splash. Just a beautiful shot there. 29-26, Guerrillas in the lead here. 1 minute, 29 seconds to go. Talk a little bit about Josh Hoyle and his ascent into, I don't want to say UH stardom, but he's playing on good teams now. When I started with Ultimate Hoops, he wasn't playing on good teams. Now he is. Talk about his role, how it's changed, how he's improved.
Yeah, I mean, the guy comes out and he busts his butt every single week. You can tell he works a lot on his game outside of just UH here. And the thing is, he comes out and he stays humble. If he gets mad at himself or something going on the floor, guess what? He keeps it to himself or he mutters under his breath. But his scoring ability obviously brings a lot to this team. They're already pretty stacked, but he's got to be a leader for them to succeed on this team this season and in the future.
Izzy talks a lot about how he's a small guy, and he's undersized, and it's true. But I'll be honest, that's a strong man. That guy is not your average, 150-pound human. He has got some strength to him that, a lot of people are shaking their head at me right now. They're saying I don't know what I'm talking about. But just trust me on this one. He's a strong guy. Well,
look at his calves. I mean, maybe if Aaron could pan over, but they're just as big as Marmol's.
I mean, he's not as big as Bryant Marmol, but I'd be willing to bet that he could. I bet you he and Derek Batiste could bench the exact same amount.
Yeah, Derek's a little weak in the arms, but I agree.
I think we should have a UH bench press competition, and we should feature Ronnie Kennedy as the benchmark. So I'm sure Ronnie can put up 250, 275, and anybody over that mark, 30-29. The Goodfellas take the lead. I'm sure that's the 5th or 6th lead change here tonight. Down low to Radde. Radde back down Garland and up and under. He gets the foul. Garland saying I was straight up. Okay, referee, sir. Referee Shanar, what do you say? Now let's just put it this way. He appeared to me he was set, but Radde went up and into him. Foul or no foul?
That's a tough one because Radde spun towards the middle of the basket, like he was going up with his left. Got Garland, probably elbowed him a little bit, and then spun back to the baseline. So Garland naturally tries to gain ground to try to put up a straight-up defense, but he's moving his feet and his body at the same time, kind of moving into Radde as he goes up. So in my opinion, it was probably the right call. It could have very easily been a no call, though, because Garland looked straight up. The thing is, he was moving probably into him. I mean, it was the right call.
Okay, Reagan Scheid buries a long three. Brian Marmol with the two all on his own. 33-33 at the half. Guerrillas, Goodfellas tied. We'll be right back with the halftime show. All right, Kevin Chase, huge block there about 5 minutes ago. Talk about it.
I just had to go help. I got James on guard, so I can transition off of him a little bit and make sure my guys are covered, get that board out of there, and get up the court and play to our speed strength. So
tied at half. What do you have to do in the second?
We got to play better offense, move the ball around. We're playing a little bit too much iso ball, but I know if we use our team, we can get through with the speed, we can get that ball moved, we can get a lot of open shots and a lot of trips to the free throw line, which is what we've been good at all year.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
That was Kevin Chase. Talked about his thunder block, talked about what they needed to do in the second half. 33-33, 22. Okay. Keys to the game, second half.
Patience. Still patience. I mean, these guys, they know what everybody's doing right now, so now they got to just settle and make adjustments. The Goodfellas haven't been moving the ball that great in the first half, but they'll probably pick it up here a little bit.
Manu Harrison with the floater, misses. Izzy Alcafaz comes out with the rebound. Over to Chris Maher. The other thing about these two teams is they're such a balanced scoring attack. If you really look at it, they got. I mean, let's just take the Goodfellas for example. They've got guys like Hoyle and Kavarian who can shoot threes and just score on you real quick. They've got guys like Reagan Scheid who can score inside or out. Garland Sanchez is a huge presence down low. Emmanuel Harrison's kind of your swing three-man, and then Kevin Chase down low. I mean, you can score from all parts of the court with the Goodfellas. Talk a little bit about that for the Guerrillas as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody on the floor even from the bench, where you're like, oh, we got to go at that guy, or that guy can't shoot. Minus maybe, Pinkett on the long balls, but and Chase obviously, but these guys got to cover a lot of ground and a lot of weapons. But on the flip side, they also have the weapons on defense to counteract that. So that's why we have such a good game right now, because you've got the best of the best playing at the best time.
The Guerrillas,
in the best setting.
The Guerrillas have yet to be in a close game this year. Their closest game was a 6-point win over Big Smash opening night. Josh Hoyle with the finish there. How much is that going to affect them down the stretch?
Yeah, they can start slow just like everybody else. I feel like they seem like they have close games, and then all of a sudden they just wake up suddenly down the stretch. So I feel like that's why there's those huge. They just come together at the right time. That's what good teams do. And if they can all they got to do is keep the momentum going and know how to get out of those binds. But if there's going to be close games all the time in the playoffs too, they might see some trouble.
The the Goodfellas have been haunted a bit by attendance. They lose to Big Smash in week 6 by 13, mainly because they're missing Garland Sanchez, Ryan Samuelson. They also lose to them opening night by 10. But they've handled their opponents for the most part, other than the Crusaders, who they only beat by 3. I just want to make mention of the other court. The Blue Chips are beating the Rebels right now, 39-36. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Oh, my God.
Emmanuel Harrison deep. Bryant Marmol with the rebound. Up to Derek Batiste, who gets absolutely destroyed by Garland Sanchez.
That was close to an intentional. You got away with one there because it looked like a little too much contact, but could have went either way.
Well, I like controversy, so I think you should expound on that. Talk a little bit about what you're looking for as a referee, because I see a lot of body. I didn't necessarily see him going up for the block.
Yeah, and that's just it. In the Minnesota High School Refs Association, I just took my test. They're stressing big time excessive contact like that. He didn't necessarily play the ball. He was way behind. Also, keeping your hands on guys for too long, or putting 2 hands on somebody, automatic foul. Those are 2 big things. But
2 hands?
Yeah. If this was a high school game, I would have called that an intentional foul. In this game, these refs are under a lot more ridicule by these guys when they, if he would have called an intentional, he probably would have got chewed out. So I could see why he didn't, but
I'm not just saying this to say this, but I think our referees do a nice job.
Oh, yeah.
2 misses there by Emmanuel Harrison, following 2 misses by Derek Batiste. Garland Sanchez down low, spin move, up and under, buries it. Big shot there by the Goodfellas. They go up now 38-33.
Your prophecy's starting to envelop a little bit here with Garland taking over.
Well, he's what else can you say? He's an absolute beast. Nice block on the other end there by Pat Magnuson. I wouldn't call it a thunder block. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to just throw that term around. I'm not going to call it a thunder block, but it was a nice block. 38-33. Late call, but I think it's the right call. He got him with some body, and Chris Maurer is going to go to the line and shoot too.
Yeah, if they should have called the foul on Hoyle on the baseline there as Chris was driving, but kind of a makeup call maybe. I don't know.
Garland Sanchez and Kyle Radde are both, and even to an extent, Greg Regenscheid are very, very, very large. And if you're not careful, someone like me can honestly get knocked out. Like if an elbow catches you in the wrong time, they're big guys.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised more people don't wear a mouth guard. I chipped my tooth last season. I throw one in. It's not because I am trying to be like Junius or anything, but maybe a little bit. But I recommend wearing one because your teeth you can grow a bone back. You can't grow your teeth back.
All right, 38-35. Guerrillas in the lead. James Pinkett's going to go finish that. 38-37. The Goodfellas have been in control most of the second half here. But I expect a handful of lead changes. On the other court, Rebels trail by 5 there. Be interesting. I think you can see it from what from your vantage point on the screen. Ryan Samuelson, great hustle by James Pinkett. James Pinkett coming off of constructive ACL surgery. Mr. Pinkett, 9 of 25 from the floor this season for 36%. 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 33 rebounds, 12 assists, 9 steals. Long one for Manuel Harrison. Yeah, I mean, I've never had a significant injury, but so I wouldn't know. But I can only imagine it's mostly mental than anything else. You know, being able to really put your body to the limit after you've essentially torn a ligament or have torn a ligament. Have you had any major injuries?
I broke my wrist in high school. That's it. Wasn't too bad.
Down low to Garland Sanchez, and he really just kind of put Chris Maher on his back there. Get fouled. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Garland Sanchez having a good season. Only played in 5 games, but he's shooting 46% from the field. Pulled down 18 boards, 7 assists, 31 points in, again, only 5 games work. He is going to make the first, 39-37. You know, it's interesting. Could you see a scenario, hypothetical here, Guerrillas lose this game to the Goodfellas. Okay, Rebels lose over there to the Blue Chips. Garland hits a second. Then later tonight, the Guerrillas finish off the Rebels. Guerrillas finish at 7-1 with a loss to the Goodfellas. Goodfellas are 6-2 with a win over the Guerrillas. Do you still have the Guerrillas as your 1 seed, even though the Goodfellas just beat them? Yeah. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a debate, but they have an extra loss in a tough Bloomington league.
I don't know. That's going to be tough. I mean, head-to-head matters.
It's true.
Especially at the end of the season.
That's why we get together.
Runner by Samuelson, not having his best night. Rebounded by Radde. Got away with the foul there. Steal there up to Kavarian, down to Emmanuel Harrison, who's going to turn the ball over. Things have a way of balancing themselves out. I believe Ryan Samuelson got away with a foul there. The ball's going to come right back over to the Guerrillas. It would be a bigger mess if the Rebels then were to lose, or were to lose the Blue Chips, then beat the Guerrillas later tonight. Because then you've got 3 6-2 teams. You know what? Honestly, you might look at a team like the Avengers or the 5-5 up in Fridley.
Right.
Well, the Avengers are 7-1, so it would potentially be them, potentially 7-1 if they beat the Bees tomorrow, or no, the club tomorrow. I'm so sorry.
You're looking at a instead of a 2-hour players committee meeting, you're looking at like a 6-hour one.
We've been very good lately, gotten in and gotten out. So Garland Sanchez drives, gets blocked from behind from Maher. The Guerrillas bench asking for a hook. Maher out of the game. In will be Derek Batiste. He said guard Garland. Now that's going to be, oh, no, they're going to switch there. Radde's going to go on to Garland. Batiste is going to guard Regenscheid. Kavarian deep. Beautiful rebound by Regenscheid. They're just skies for it. 42-39. Guerrillas trail. Pinkett Batiste. El Kafas. Bryant Marmol. Kyle Radde. In for the Goodfellas. Ryan Samuelson. Garland Sanchez. Kevin Chase. Kavarian Williams for 3. And Greg Regenscheid. Regenscheid trying to put the foot back up. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. 42-39. 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go, and the clock is ticking.
That's a nice hustle play, too. He could have, gave up on the possession, but he went back up, got it, got the foul.
Got a little elevation there for a big man.
Yeah.
Hits the first. The lead is now 4. And misses the second. The lead will stay at 4. Derek Batiste controls the point for the Guerrillas. A lot of the Guerrillas have been fairly silent here in the second half. We're going to get a travel call there. Ronnie Kennedy with the correct call. Mendez into the game for James Pinkett.
Yeah, they really need him in right now to give him a little spark on O.
4-point lead, Goodfellas. A basket here would give them their largest lead of the night. That is just a beautiful pass. Beautiful pass by Kavarian Williams. Greg Regenscheid not able to finish. Alkafas with the fake over to Bryant Marmol. He's going to take Regenscheid down low, turnaround jumper. He's been making those shots all night. Wasn't able to make that one. Arsam with the pull-up three. Again, I think that's a good shot. Radde up to Mendez. Mendez with the finish. 43-41. We're in under 10 minutes now. Players are starting to get a little chippy with the refs, and there it is. Just as I say that, we've got a technical foul call on Kavarian. Kavarian's going to go right to the league coordinator to argue his case. The thing is that it's not just 2 shots, it's momentum. You know, and you take a little bit of the air out of your own tires when you do things like that. Now, he missed that first shot, but again, it doesn't matter. It's a momentum thing.
I agree. Technicals affect your team a lot more than people would like to admit.
In a close game like this, it's just not necessary. We have told the refs, we have told the players, quick tees. They're gonna happen. They're gonna come. You know, and it's just unnecessary. It really is.
How many timeouts do we have? 3, right? Yeah.
The Guerrillas with all 3 timeouts. Interesting. They can use them here, you know, if the Goodfellas go to the free throw line if they're trailing late. I think that's a good strategy.
Absolutely.
Regenscheid guarded by Alkafas. They're going to get a help by Bryant Marmol with a great block.
We're going to hear it?
No. We're not going to call that a monster block. But it was a nice floating block. I mean, if you're going to do a monster block, it's got to be the real deal.
Thunder block.
Thunder block. I've already forgotten what it's actually called. Well, I was going to patent that thing and everything. Oh, we're going to get a foul there on Derek Batiste.
No foul, just out of bounds.
You know, monster block didn't sound right in my head. So thank you for correcting me, gentlemen. The crew corrects me. Okay, Garland Sanchez down low to Regenscheid, who's guarded by Alkafas, who's been helped. We're going to get a call again on Derek Batiste, I believe, with the strip. He's going to confirm here. Yes, call's going to be on Batiste.
On the floor.
On the floor again. 43-42. Goodfellas in the lead.
Tag!
Oh, wraps around. Regenscheid's playing a good inside-out game today. You know, this game means a lot because really, you know, the difference between a 1 seed and a 4 or 5 seed can mean, I mean, in the past couple of seasons, for the most part, the number 1 seed has had a pretty easy path to the finals. You know, it's the difference between playing a Blue Chips team who's actually beating the Rebels right now. You know, and a team like the Avengers.
I'm scared. I'm terrified.
So 44-52 on the other court. Blue Chips in the lead. 44-42. Guerrillas now, 45-42. Goodfellas. Oh, beautiful steal there by Josh Hoyle, who's been relatively quiet this half. He's going to lead the point. Almost had a foul there on Alkafas. No call. Can the Goodfellas have a good possession here? This is going to be key. Let's see if they can. Download it. Garland Sanchez. Oh, maybe got away with a small walk there. I don't know if you saw that, but do you think he got away with a walk?
Yeah, I mean, it might have been pushed off the spot a little bit, but I guess that wouldn't matter. It's either a foul or a travel.
His pivot foot moved. Alkafas with the answer. Nothing, but we're going to get a push off on Derek Batiste. He doesn't agree, but it's the right call. 47-42. If you're the Guerrillas, do you take a timeout here?
I think they need to regroup. I mean, they're hitting crunch time right now, and you could see they got a little wild there. So
Plus a timeout would stop the clock here, and on these long one-on-ones that can sometimes mean a minute. James Pinkett with the timeout call there. Very, very smart, heady play by Mr. Pinkett. Okay, 47-42. Guerrillas trail. You know, we talked about this in last week's episode. Seeds matter. It's just, you know, let's look at a team like Big Smash last season. They had won, I believe, 6 games going into the finals or into the playoffs, and every single game was a double-digit win in the playoffs, I believe. You know, momentum matters, seed matters. You know, the Guerrillas have not shown up in the postseason. They lose this game, they probably go later tonight and maybe lose to the Rebels, and who knows, maybe they're bounced in the first round. You know, so they don't want a setback here. This is a team that is affected a lot by momentum, their mood, and I think a loss here is going to do a lot of harm to them.
I agree, 100%.
Garland Sanchez 1-1 here, 47-42, can extend the lead to 6, 48-42. You know, this league is great. If you look at the other court, the Blue Chips are beating the Rebels. We could see an undefeated team fall. I believe last season, the last undefeated team fell, I think, week 4 in Bloomington. You know, none of the 8-0 teams in Fridley made it past the Elite 8. Oh, excuse me, I think the club made it to the Final 4. So, I mean, there's just a lot of parity here. 50-42, Sanchez hits both. And the Goodfellas are playing some top-notch defense here. Fadeaway 3 by Radde. Oh, that would have been huge. And Garland Sanchez just taking over. We're going to get a 4th foul called on Derek Batiste in the last, 6 minutes?
Yeah, that's a rough one.
He is not agreeing, although every single call has been legitimate. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
So, again, the clock is running. 5:20, 5:19, 5:16, 5:15. The lead is actually 49-42 here. Excuse me. Garland's going to go to the line. Hits the first. That'll make it 50-42. It's right now, though. It's right now. The lead is now 50-42. And Garland is going to make the second. Now it's 51-42. He makes 4 free throws in crunch time again. I think he's going to take over, and he has. Noe Mendez controls the point. Down low to Radde. Radde over to Alcafas. This is a huge 3 for Alcafas. Buries it. Wow. 51-45. They absolutely needed that shot.
Huge.
Now, no shot clock and rec. If you're the Goodfellas, how long does it take you to make this shot? There's 4:25 on the clock.
Oh. I think you want to keep your possessions at like 20 seconds, somewhere around there. You can't just stop scoring because they're gonna get the ball sooner or later. But
I didn't catch that. Did Izzy just trip Garland? He just put a shoulder down into Garland. And I'm sorry. Did Izzy just trip Greg? And he did just put a shoulder into Garland.
I missed it. Oh my
Finished
God.
by Noe Mendez, 51-47. If you're the Goodfellas, you take a timeout here.
Maybe.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. If I'm the Goodfellas, I go into stall mode here.
Yeah.
And I play that high pick game. Oh, and Batiste is going to pick up another foul. Because here's the thing. The rules are the rules are the rules. And we do not have a shot clock. So why don't you take advantage of it?
Right.
You know, it's kind of a gentleman's rule to not do that.
Yeah.
But in a game like this, heck, make them foul you.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Harrison with the first makes it. The Goodfellas have now hit 5 straight free throws. Izzy is doing his best to rile up the Goodfellas. He's going to try to get a technical foul. He's doing everything he can. So that leads me to believe that even though I didn't see him trip Regenscheid, I think he did.
Yeah.
Oh, not a smart pass by Hoyle. Stolen by Mendez. Again, not necessary. And he's going to pick up the foul there. The Rebels have trimmed the lead to 5, which is irrelevant considering this isn't going to air for another 5 days at least. And you'll know the result of the game. But Maher controls the ball. Down low, we're going to get a turnover. Up to Kavarian.
Quiet second half.
Kavarian up for 2.
Oh,
Doesn't get the foul. Hoyle for 3. Now, he buries that shot, but I don't know if it's all too necessary to shoot that shot. Now, there's no such thing as a bad shot that goes in. I'll stick by that motto to the day I die. There's no such thing as a bad shot that goes in, but I just don't know if it's necessary to shoot it. That's all. Hoyle comes away with that rebound. He's going to get fouled. 55-47. The clock is going to go down to the 2-minute mark, and it's going to stop.
A lot of things are going Goodfellas' way right now, and not too much for the Guerrillas.
My prediction is that if the Guerrillas lose this game and then they go on to lose tonight against the Rebels, they will lose in the first round of the playoffs. That's my prediction. If they go on to beat the Rebels later tonight, then I think they'll win the Gold Cup.
Comes down to one game, huh?
Because this is a wake-up call for them.
Well, the Rebels are looking pretty rough right now. They're about to cost me a serious bet tomorrow night in Fridley.
Okay, 56-47. The Guerrillas trail down low to Radde. He's going to get the foul and the basket. If I'm Kavarian, you got to let him make that.
What's the point? 5'8" versus 6'5", right underneath the basket.
Correct. 56-49. James Pinkett into the game.
I don't know if Kavarian's 5'8". I was just eyeballing. What do you think? 5'8"?
Yeah. 5'8", 5'9", yeah. Makes the basket, 56-50. Minute 45 to go here in the second half. Hoyle controls the ball. Over to Emmanuel Harrison, back up to Kevin Chase, and that's who you want to foul. 6-point lead here for the Goodfellas. The Goodfellas... The Goodfellas have been shooting free throws exceptionally well. And as I say that, Kevin Chase puts up a not exceptionally well shot. Second one he makes, though.
That's all right.
He makes it.
1 out of 2, I'll take that every time.
57-50. Every possession here vital from here on out for the Goodfellas, or excuse me, for the Guerrillas. Over to Radde. Radde gets stolen by Emmanuel Harrison. Huge steal by Emmanuel Harrison. And we're going to get a trap here. It's a timeout call by the Goodfellas. That's just good, smart basketball. Yeah. Nothing forced, but he gets that timeout called. 57-50, 7-point lead. Yeah, big play by Harrison, and then a very smart play by Josh Hoyle to pull the ball back, not force it in, and then call the timeout. Gotta love the good, smart basketball. Just love it. The Blue Chips are going to defeat the Rebels tonight. Rebels without Ryan Jansen, my MVP candidate and MVP award winner for me. He's going to have my vote. I'm not even sure if he's going to be up for the award, but he'll get my vote regardless. I'll just write him in.
Yeah, I gotta have a serious talk with him tonight because not to discount the win by the Blue Chips, but I really lost my butt right there.
Okay, Goodfellas controlling the ball, not being fouled yet by the Guerrillas, and there we're going to get a foul.
That's all right.
That's exactly what the Guerrillas wanted to do. They wanted to foul Harrison, put him to the line. Pinkett's going to come out. He is going to bury the first. You need to go. And not the second. 58-50. It's a 6-point lead. Minute 14 seconds here to go in the second half. Bryant Marble controls the ball. Oh, beautiful steal there by Kevin Chase. He puts it up to Kavarian Williams. Over to Josh Hoyle. Josh Hoyle to Marilyn Harrison. And we're going to get a foul. Another defensive turnover / steal by the Goodfellas. It's good basketball there. You know, when you're in the Gorillas' shoes, you have to force it. It's not ideal, but you know those things happen.
Yeah, they're not really. They don't have their stretch prowess that I'm used to this season, but I guess you can't get it every time.
59-50. Emmanuel hits the first and misses the second, but rebounded by Brian Marmol. Marmol over to Mendez. Mendez is going to get fouled by Kavarian Williams. Kavarian doesn't agree with the call, but he's got to be careful not to get another technical. One and one here, coming from Noe Mendez. 59-50. Needs to really hit these while the clock is stopped. It's the first. It's the second. 59-52. The lead is 7, and we're going to get a quick turnover here. Kyle Radde bumped that. See what we get here. Down to Maher, over to Elkafas. Deep three off the front. Rebounded by Mendez, and he gets fouled. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Kyle Radde forced that turnover. 7-point lead now.
That's big time. These guys aren't going to sleep right now. They're waking up. We coming.
7-point lead. Mendez misses the first. That hurts.
Probably a little tired after that little stretch there. He was all over the place. What, 2 offensive boards?
Now that was a 1-and-1, and the ball just went out of bounds. Interesting. So 1-on-1, ball went out of bounds, and it's now black ball.
Why?
I'm unsure. I think the last person who touched that was Noe Mendez, was it not?
Yeah.
Or has it become a jump ball then?
I think it's a live ball after it comes off the rim. I don't understand it, but maybe.
But it was last touched by Noe Mendez, was it not?
Right, exactly. I mean, he does varsity games, from what I heard, in college, so maybe he knows of a rule that.
Well, he was confident of it, and I'll tell you what, I'm not a ref. So.
Yeah, there was no second guessing himself there. He was convinced.
That's interesting. It's an interesting call. I've yet to see that. 2 things I haven't seen tonight. I saw a game-winning shot attempt not attempted after which is, I don't know, was a very unique thing, but the Red Devils ended up winning anyway. So 59-54. Oh, almost stepped out of bounds there. Very, very close to stepping out of bounds there. I don't know if we got it on camera, but it was close.
I know you're the sideline patrol, and he was out.
I mean, what I saw was a toe in bounds, a heel out of bounds, but I didn't see the heel touch down out of bounds. It's one of those football dragging the toes things. It's the first. 60-54. The lead is now up to 6.
There's really not a lot of time left.
7. 61-54, 7-point lead. Again, I'm going to reiterate my prediction. If the Gorillas go on to lose to the Rebels tonight, they will get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. If they go on to beat the Rebels tonight, they'll win the Gold Cup.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just a very moody, confidence-driven team.
they got a lot of thinkers on their team too, and they probably think they did something wrong. I mean, they just got out-hustled, and the balls didn't go their way. So, but yeah, I could see them totally getting deflated by this. Ooh.
Turnover there late on the Goodfellas. 61-54. Unless, barring some unforeseen miracle, that's going to be the game. Bounced off of Kavarian's foot. 61-54 is likely going to be your final. Check that. 61-56 is your final. The Goodfellas defeat the previously unbeaten Guerrillas 61-56. We will be back with the postgame show. All right, Ultra Noops Nation, you just finished watching episode 3 of the UH Rewind. The Goodfellas defeated the Guerrillas 61-56. I'm talking to Izzy Alkafas of the Guerrillas. Talk about the game tonight.
I was kind of sloppy by the Guerrillas. The energy kind of seemed like it was there for both teams, but it just seemed like Goodfellas was just a little bit more crisp throughout the course of the game.
Were the Guerrillas maybe looking ahead to another game tonight?
You know, I tried to say that the Rebels game doesn't matter. Just if we lose that game, who cares? Let's focus on beating the Goodfellas. I don't know how far it went. You always look forward to playing the Rebels. But maybe we came in a little overconfident. I'm not 100% sure. But the turnovers really did us in tonight. There's a lot of timely turnovers, and just in the second half, it got real sloppy.
I made a ridiculous prediction during the show. I said, if you guys lose to the Rebels tonight, you'll lose in the first round of the playoffs. If you beat the Rebels, you'll win the Gold Cup. Because I think it's a momentum thing. And you guys are you're a very sensitive group. So I know you're down right now. What are you going to need to do to avoid that letdown later tonight?
Take care of the ball, to be honest. I mean, that's every season for the Guerrillas. We always have a really deep roster with a lot of talent. And really the only thing that does us in when we look at the box score is when we have more turnovers than the other team. If we have less turnovers than the other team, we typically win just because we usually maximize possessions when we take care of the ball. So points per possession when we take care of the ball is we're always going to outscore other teams. And that's really what it comes down to. We did a lot. We actually did a bad job tonight in the first game of boxing out. They probably had a dozen offensive rebounds. And if with Kloby and Ferber tonight, if we don't do that, we're toast. We could have used Helmy in the first game as well, and we definitely could have used Helmy against Kloby tonight. So coming off a back-to-back with those two monsters, it's going to be really tough.
If you lose to the Rebels, there'll be a 6-2 tie at the top of the league. The Goodfellas, the number 1 seed.
Goodfellas
over a 7-1 Avengers potentially.
I think that it would be Goodfellas at 1, Rebels at 2, Guerrillas at 3, Avengers at 4.
So 3 6-2 teams over 1 7-1 team, potentially 7-1.
They played the Squids. They
Okay.
They played the Squids. I mean,
But they also beat Fob 5, you know.
I look at it from a strength of schedule perspective. They lost to the club, I believe. No. They lost to Callahan. And they didn't look very good early on in the season. Now I get they've looked a lot better. But for me personally, it's if you take that Avengers squad and you put them in Bloomington, they're not going 7-1. They lost to Callahan. And no Goodfellas, Rebels, Guerrillas are not going to lose to Callahan. So that's just my take on it. I have a Bloomington bias. The last couple seasons, I think Fridley's really kind of watered down. There's 4 good teams, and there's the rest.
That's it for tonight. UH Rewind Episode 3, final. Goodfellas 61, Guerrillas 56. That's actually the conclusion of this season. We'll be back with a full 8-game slate for winter 2015. See you then.